He may be the most fertile stallion in the whole business. If you put a gun to my head and said who was the best pacing sire, proven pacing sire in the business right now, it would be Somebeachsomewhere.
He's big, he's strong, and he has got it going on! Somebeachsomewhere and Paul McDonough by 4. Cup 25 to Canada's horse.
It's a game of hope and dreams. But did I expect it? No way. That wasn't what, geez, I bought a world champion here. That did not come through my head at all.
That feel good?
I'm Brent McGrath and I'm from Truro, Nova Scotia. And I was part owner and trainer of Somebeachsomewhere, world champion racehorse. I really wanted a Canadian-bred Ontario sired horse, which would mean a horse eligible to race in Ontario. And when I looked at him, he fit the bill on his presence. You want to go in the big leagues, you got to have all your parts on the right way, and he did.
It's like people, you know, you don't see many hockey players that stand bad, you know, their feet aren't all twisted out like this. You know.
The top horses would have been selling for in excess of $100,000. I paid $40 for him, and you know I loved the horse, and quite frankly, I was surprised that I was still around at 40. I was surprised that they hadn't zoomed right by 40 to 80 to 100, and me been out of the picture. When I finally got it, I called Rhonda, my wife, and within seconds, and said, "I can't believe we bought this horse for $40,000."
Somebeachsomewhere, 16th to go. Moonbeam not going to catch him. Somebeachsomewhere and Big Mac scoop up the big bucks to win the Metro Pace. He won by 2 lengths and he's home in 1:49.3. A world record performance in the final of the Metro Pace.
When he set a world record as a 2-year-old, and then things started to come into place, and so you know he made very good horses. His third lifetime started to look very average, and the following that he grabbed right away, you know, top trainers, the minute they seen him, were saying, you know, there's a special horse. Did I think we were going to set a world record at 2 and a couple at 3 and all those things? No, didn't think that at all. That wasn't on the radar when I bought him.
Somebeachsomewhere looking to pour it on.
His greatest race is really a really hard choice for me. He set a Breeders' Crown record. His season was over. That was the last race of his career, of his life. And I mean, he played with the field that night and set a 25-year record that still hasn't been broken on a November cold night.
Somebeachsomewhere goes out a champion in the Breeders' Crown, 1:48.3.
That kind of makes me feel good that I had him in that kind of shape and he felt that good the last race of his year.
When your horse is great, as he was, more than likely you're not going to race at 4 because you're so valuable at the end of your 3-year-old year because of what you've done, that you can make more money in the breeding shed than you can on the racetrack.
I'm currently the farm manager of Hanover Shoe Farms, but I started as resident veterinarian, and I am a veterinarian. Brent brought Somebeachsomewhere here soon after his racing career concluded. He was a nice looking horse, and he seemed easy to be around and never gave us trouble. He's a nice horse. He's very easygoing, he's very laid back. You could tell he was spoiled on the racetrack because he's a very humanized horse. He enjoys interaction with humans. Some horses could take it or leave it, but he likes to interact with humans. So in the barn, he's one of the nicer ones. So basically the stallion enters this door, and there's a mare standing in these stocks. And that's in order to arouse him and get him interested. Once he's interested, drops his penis, and his penis is washed with ivory soap and warm water. Then I'll come and fill up their artificial vagina. Each stallion has their own. It's rubber, double lined, and you fill it with water at 140 degrees Fahrenheit to a pressure that kind of simulates what a mare would feel like to them. We put basically a Whirlpack bag on the end of this, and that's where the ejaculate is collected into. Ready? All right. When he gives me the sign, he's allowed to mount the phantom mare. And I divert his penis into the artificial vagina, and the ejaculate is collected into the Whirlpack bag. He dismounts and he goes, his job's done. Take the Whirlpack bag off the artificial vagina, bring it to this area where we process the semen. First thing we do is filter it just to get the dirt out of it. Then we take a drop and look at it under the microscope just to make sure that his motility looks the same like it always does.
I'll say that's an 80%.
We have the volume and the concentration, and then we get the total number in billions.
It worked out to be 12.2 billion.
And we would have a list of which mares are getting bred to him that day, and we divide it according to that list. And we add semen extender, which is basically an energy source, and it dilutes it. So we extend it and put it in syringes, label the syringes, and then they go into Equine Express boxes. These have an ice pack put in them so it cools the semen down. And the farms will have them the next morning, and then the farm, of course, will open the box, make sure it's the stallion they wanted, and inseminate the mare.
The two highest price yearlings I've ever sold have been by Some Beach Somewhere.
Both big colts.
Some Beach has kind of had it all going for him because he performed, his offspring are performing. Most of them are very well conformed. You know, they're good sized horses, they stand good, and they're fast. You know.
Well, the quality of Beach's semen is terrific. He comfortably gives enough every day to breed 10-12 mares. More important than what it looks like and how much of it there is the fact that he gets mares in foal very easily. If I breed a mare to Some Beach Somewhere and I do a preg check on her, I expect her to be in foal. With him, if you check one and they're not in foal, they're not pregnant, you say there's got to be a problem with her, or I did something wrong, because you know it's not his fault. He's as reliable as a stallion can get.
Every once in a while, yeah, some great horse will pop up who you look at his pedigree and say, how did that happen? Well, genetics is like shuffling a deck of cards, you know. And every once in a while, somebody catches a pair of aces.
If you're asking if he's the greatest horse to ever live, you know, he's certainly in that league. I might be a little bit biased, but you know, I think if you did a survey right now in the industry, I would say his name would probably be on the top of the list. I would say, but you know, again, that might be my wishful thinking.
I don't know what made him so great. I'm not that smart. I don't know that anyone has the answer.
You know, how can we repay this horse? Part of what he has done for us. He is one of a kind, and luckily we got him.